I'm on the hunt to find the best one-shot manga out there. And I don't care what genre it's from, I just want to feel intense emotion when I finish that one-shot. Whether it be I'm laughing my head off because it's so hilarious, or my heart is so full because it was so cute and fluffy and wholesome, or on the other side, I want to be soul destroyed, crying, my heart broken because it was so sad, or I'm shook to my core because it was so scary. Like, any of those emotions will do. I just want to feel it tenfold. And I did a bit of Googling and I found 11 one-shot mangas that came up that were meant to be really good. I also looked on Kindle Unlimited and I picked ones to read that had good reviews and sounded like I'd enjoy them. So out of these 11, I can confidently say that 5 are must-reads. You have to read them. I loved them. But the top 3, chef's kiss. I went through every type of emotion. In third place, cried my eyes out. It hit me in the feels. Second one, I laughed so much. It was hilarious and I really enjoyed the art style. And then the last one, it's sad, it's wholesome, it's a bit of everything, it's unique. I was blown away. So I'm gonna run you through 11th place to first place, and I really have a mega mix of genres. So I usually read romance manga, but I have a bit of everything. So I've got romance, school life, these are what's normal on this channel, but I've also got horror, vampires, demons, sci-fi, like mages, quests, etc. I really got a lovely big mix. So let's start with number 11. We have Perfect, and I found this one on Kindle Unlimited. The author was under someone called Most Team. I'm assuming that's a company or an organization because when I clicked on it, it had loads of different one-shot mangas, but on the front cover of this, it's got the manga artist name and it's A Azaya. So I'm assuming that's the artist. Now the message of this manga is don't judge a book by its cover. And we follow this young boy who goes to a gallery one day and falls in love with a painting. And he really wants to meet the artist. And that leads him to join this art group because he knows that the artist attends the classes and he's judging everyone by how they look. And he looks at the pretty girl, like typically feminine, and is like, is that the artist? That's got to be her. But then who it ends up being is completely different to who he expected. And it's about him getting to know the artist and these two working together on an art collaboration, etc. It's about their friendship and their little love story. I was not impressed. I actually felt no emotion towards these two, sadly. I feel like I didn't gel with the guy because his whole message is don't judge a book by its cover, but then the feminine, typically beautiful girl, he obviously assumes that she's the one at the start, but then later on in the manga, he sees her smoking and is like, she's ugly inside. Like, dude, that is so harsh. And I'm not sure whether it wasn't originally written in English. I'm assuming no, because the translation wasn't amazing. Like, some things just didn't make sense. So I wouldn't rate this manga, and I was actually quite disappointed because I think this got rated a 4 on Kindle Unlimited, like 4 out of 5. So a bit disappointing. In 10th place, we have A Demon's Friend. Now, the author is different everywhere I look. So on the front cover, it has this author. However, when I look online, it's by Astana Kurieita. So that's who I'm gonna go with, who the original author is. And this is a mystery, a thriller. And it has demons in, obviously, by the name. Now, we follow Jane. She is a young girl who has been shipped off to boarding school. And when she's there, she befriends this girl called Senna. And these two get really close when creepy stuff starts to happen at this school. Because all of the girls are disappearing. They're coming down with this illness and being sent home. But one day, Senna's gone. So Jane is like, what on earth is going on? This is really creepy. And she ends up finding out that the school is doing some weird stuff. And when she finally sees Senna again, she's very different. And she tries to get her friend back. And it follows that. I really don't know what to make of this one. It was a bit sad, it's twisted, and it was quite strange. And the way the manga ended, it's making me feel like this is gonna get a serialization. Like it's gonna be a whole manga series because it leaves us with like a little clue, a little question mark. There's more to find out. And I mean, I was left wanting more. And I don't know if that's a good sign. What do you think? With a one shot, should you leave it being fully satisfied? Like they've been able to conclude the story and you feel really emotional towards it? Or is it better that you want more? It's so good, you need more of the story. I think it's a balance of both, and with this one, I feel like it needed a bit more oomph to the story. That doesn't mean I didn't like it, just wanted a bit more. In 9th place, we have a horror one-shot, and it's called Last Hope, and it's by Neith Archer. Now with this one, I read this and I was so confused. I finished it, some things clicked, but then it gives you an explanation about what the manga was about at the end, like as a little extra after the story. And then I reread it and I was like, this was so good. It was very clever. So whether I was just being a bit dumb, things did not add up and click for me, but I loved it the second time around when I understood everything. So what I'm gonna give you is a basic explanation, what I really liked, and then I'm gonna give you the extra context at the end. This is how I felt going in. It says, what would you do if you found yourself lost in an empty, motionless world with your fears as your only companion? And it really does start with this girl wandering this corridor, opening some doors, and it seems like she's looking for something, but she doesn't know what. And then when she goes back into the normal world, every human is disappeared. No one is about. And then this creepy monster starts to stalk her. Now, this story is split into, I think, 3 or 4 sections. And in each section, it's like the girl has to overcome something, or she's got a task she has to complete. And it follows her. I loved the art style. The monster that was chasing her, it looked horrifying, and her facial expressions were really on point. I was drawn into the one shot via the art, and the whole thing was very creepy. The ending is quite raw, and I liked that. And again, when I understood what was going on and I reread it, I thought it was really clever and it is unique. Now, I'm gonna give you the extra context. Overall, I do think this was a good one shot, and going forward, all of the one shots I really enjoyed. So do skip to this timestamp if you don't want the extra bit of information for this. Now, this is Hope, and she is the main character we follow throughout the manga. And this says, Hope will face many challenges along the way, leading her to uncover the mystery of her existence. She is the last hope of a girl battling depression. And so each bit of the manga, each part, is her going through a trial and trying to help the girl who's going through depression survive. And the first trial is Solitude. Solitude was a frozen, empty world where time stands still. It overwhelms Hope, leading her astray. Now, the second trial is Fear. Now, this is the creepy monster. Oh, it creeped me out. And he basically stalks her throughout the whole book. And then we have Despair. And this takes shape in a black tendrils and suffocating darkness. And then I'm gonna tell you what the last one is, but I'm not gonna show you the picture because that could be a little bit of mystery. But the last one is Deception. And that's all I give you. Once I knew that and I understood, I was like, boom. It did click at the end, but I wish there was a bit more context at the beginning. Like even letting us know Hope is looking for something, or she's the last hope of feeling depressed or something. I don't know what I needed, but I needed a little bit more context at the beginning. In 8th place, we have Fuzzy Core, and this is by Hakuri. It's a sci-fi, post-apocalyptic one-shot, and in this world, it has been overrun by androids, and they've nearly eliminated all of mankind. And we follow a girl and a guy, and they're basically on a mission to, 1, find out the history, what on earth happened to the world, and 2, to find other human beings. But there's more than meets the eye with these two. They've both gone through a lot. We find out a bit more about their backstories. They've both got their own tragedies, and we get a little bit more history in regards to what shook the world up. Now, I left this manga wanting more. I really enjoyed it. It was very unique. It gave me iRobot vibes, and I think there's a lot of potential with the history and world building. Like, I want to know what made the androids turn on the humans, because we get a bit of information that the androids and humans used to live in harmony, but then one day something happened and the androids turned on the humans, and I really want to know more. I hope this gets a manga series, I really do. And I loved the vibe of the two main characters. I want to know more about their story. I want to follow them and their journey throughout. It was a good short story. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm left wanting a bit more, but I don't need more. If I don't get an extra manga series, then I'm happy with how the story concluded. So yeah, I think it was definitely worthy of being in 8th place. But now, let me tell you 7th place. This was an emotional one. We have Return of the Brave Party by Hirano, Ryouji, and this is a fantasy adventure one-shot, and yeah, like I said, it has some tragedy in there, and I don't read tragedy mangas, but coming up, I think we have about 3, maybe 4. I don't know, something about a one-shot and a tragedy go really well together. We follow 4 people, a mage, a hero, a priestess, and a knight, and they have gone on a mission to defeat the Demon King. I can't not think of Demon King and not think of Black Clover or Free Ren, but it's more on the Free Ren vibes because they're on a quest, it's got the mage, etc., but it's not slice of lifey or cute and fluffy. What's different about this story, it doesn't follow the group's journey to defeat the Demon King, it follows their journey back to the village. It's mainly from the mage's point of view. She is a bit of an outsider to the hero, the knight, and the priestess, because all of those 3 are from this village, whereas they met the mage on the way. I left this just not knowing how to feel. I don't even know how to describe my feelings with this one, because about halfway through, I was like, meh, this is a meh. I'm not really gelling, some things aren't adding up, and then everything and all the emotions hit you at once, and I was left feeling a bit horrified, a bit creeped out, like what the hell? But then I flipped, and I just felt so sad for all of these characters. I felt a lot of emotion for them. The last panel was beautiful. The message, the art, it really blew me away, and I ended up leaving this manga just sad but content. And that's what I'll give you. Please read this. In 6th place, we have A Parasol Alliance, and this is by the same author as Blue Box, Kouji Miura. And if you like Blue Box, you're gonna like this. It's another school life rom-com, but this one doesn't have any sports, and the art style is exactly the same. We follow a guy, he is a twin, and he is the underachiever. Like, his brother is the popular, handsome, overachiever character, but we follow the underachiever like we do in most of these stories, and he really wants to confess his feelings for this girl. And lo and behold, this girl is also a twin. But what ends up happening is he confesses to the wrong twin, which didn't add up to me because they look completely different. I think he was just panicked and he confessed to the wrong twin without even looking at her, because they are clearly different. But the girl is basically like, you know what, I like your twin brother, so let's have a twin alliance and let's help each other get with our brothers and sisters. That sounds really incestuous there. But you know what I mean. She's like, help me get with your brother and I'm gonna help you get with my sister. And if you don't, I'm gonna blackmail you and I'm gonna tell my sister that you accidentally confessed your feelings to me. So this guy is like, damn, I'm gonna have to help her, and they enter into this alliance. And it follows those two. I loved it. It was so funny, and the facial expressions and the art style was a chef's kiss. I feel like, again, this could be a manga series. I had a lot of giggles, but then it did have its heartwarming moments. I liked the Twin Alliance vibe, and I loved the way it panned out. It made it realistic, not as cliche. So I definitely recommend this. Do give this a read. In 5th place, we have Nee Nee, Nene-san, and it's by Amairo Chu. This was emotional. It's a slice of life romance between a man who loves to cook and a girl who loves to eat his cooking. And I'm not joking you here. The main guy is called Rintaro. And I was thinking, Rintaro? If you know The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity, he is basically this patisserie young boy who likes to bake cakes for his girlfriend, and she loves to eat cakes and food. So I felt like I was getting a bit of deja vu, but it is different to that. So don't expect that fluffy school life romance vibes. So we have Nene. She is, I think, in her late 20s, and one day she gets home and she realized that she's lost or left her phone, keys, wallet all at work. But it's really late at night, it's torrential raining, so she's like, what do I do? But her neighbor comes up the stairs and is like, oh, are you okay? How about you come in, dry off, and I'll make you some food to cheer you up. So she's like, sure. Now this guy, he's a bit younger. He's in, I think, university. So there's a little bit of an age gap. He wants to learn how to cook and perfect his cooking skills so he can woo some women. So he's like, can I practice on you every day? And I'll come over, bring you some food, and you can let me know how I can improve. And it follows Nene and her falling in love with this guy. It only follows their meal time, so we get a snippet of them every day, and that's all I'm gonna give you. I seriously thought this manga was gonna go down a horror route, but luckily it went down a different path, and even though I'm happy it did, my oh my, this was heartbreaking. It's sad, but at the same time, it's very heartwarming. It's a bittersweet love story. It hits you with the feels, and again, the art style of these one-shots have been quite top tier, and this one is no exception. And you know me, I'm actually a sucker for like a chef story. So if you have any recommendations of like a chef character and them cooking for their love interest, give it to me. I will eat it up. In 4th place, we have a manga name I can't pronounce. I'll pop it up on the screen, but Meririrarariri. I'm gonna give you the Google Translate sound.
Meririrarariri.
Okay, so that's how it's pronounced, and it's by Hakuri. This is a supernatural drama. There's a bit of action in there, one shot, and it follows a witch. And in this world, if a witch wants to become great, they need to always stay calm, because if a witch isn't calm, they can't use their magic. And we follow a young witch in training. She is having a really harsh regime and following her strict mum's rules in order to become a good witch. And as I was reading this, some of the things her mum makes her do is quite harsh. Like her mum makes her burn or destroy her toys that she had when she was really young, so she doesn't have any emotional connection to it, so she can always stay calm. Like, the less emotion and feelings you have, the stronger the witch you'll be. But one day, our little witch meets a boy and her feelings start to change, and it follows her. I loved this. This was great, phenomenal. I highly recommend this to everyone. This was my favorite art of all of the one-shots. Absolutely stunning. It has the strict, unloving mother and girl meets boy vibes. It's like, is the mum being so emotionless, pushing her towards the boy, like, etc. And the ending, yes, read it. Now, top 3. The ones that I said are top tier. You will leave all of these mangas feeling high emotions. And the third one is the saddest one. Oh my goodness, I cried. I actually cried at this one shot. I didn't think that was possible. And it's called Toki Doki and it's by Komi, Naoshi. This is a school life romance and the story is from a guy's point of view. He is starting to fall head over heels for this new student in his class, and she is a bit of a loner. She doesn't speak to anyone. She keeps herself to herself, but he finds out her secret, and she actually has a very rare illness called cardiotemporitis. This is where the person has a weak heart, they've got fewer heartbeats and a shorter lifespan, and you can wear this device and it will tell you how many heartbeats you have left, so how many days you have left in this world. She's only got about 6 to 7 years left to live. And she is like, I do want to have fun. I want to do stuff. I want to get my heart racing, even if it's going to shorten my life. And it's about them. It's about enjoying life, enjoying the small things, and them two getting to know each other. Honestly, 10 out of 10. I loved it. The messaging was beautiful and it was painfully sad, but very sweet all at the same time. Like, you really did get that bittersweet feeling, and I was just leaving the manga feeling so much emotions. Obviously it made me teary. How can a manga do that after just a one shot, after just one chapter? It blows me away. Like, I've just met these characters at the beginning. Like, that is impressive to me. You have to read this and let me know how you felt. I want those comments popping off for this manga in that comment section. In second place, we have a romantic comedy between a vampire and a gondolier driver, are they called? You know, those long boats in Venice, and a guy stands on the back and like rows it with a big pole. One of them. It's about a romance between them. And my goodness, I was laughing my head off reading this. I loved it. And it was so cute and fluffy. It is called A Vampire in Love in Venice. And it's by Josep. It's not Joseph, it's Josep. Josep Moore. So freaking good. Now, we have a vampire and she has lived for millennia and she's traveled the world over the centuries, and she's finally come to Venice and she's fallen in love with the city. But she's a bit bored. Life's been a bit boring for her because she can use hypnosis and basically get whatever she wants. She feels like she could rule the world if she wanted to, and nothing has really wowed her in recent years. But she stumbles upon this gondolier driver and she tries to hypno him into giving her a free ride, and he's like, no. And she's never in her life met a man or met a person who can like not be affected by her hypnosis. So she becomes quite obsessed with him. She starts following him around and trying to get to know him a bit more and to see why he doesn't sway to her vampire abilities. And it's about their love story. This was fun. It was cute, and you get a little story, like a little extra snippet at the end. I would include it in the one shot, but there's like a little time jump. And even that, the whole thing was a chef's kiss. It really was. I think without the extra story we got at the end of the one shot, I wouldn't have loved it as much, because that extra story, that little sneak peek into their future, gave us more context about how their romance panned out, what their future looks like, and what even their future will look like past that little story. It just summed it up so good. It did. If you want a laugh, if you want something cute and fluffy, read this. You're going to love it. In first place, we have one that shocked me. I really left this contemplating and thinking about the story, just loving these characters so much in only a one-shot story. I mean, I am obsessed. The storytelling of it was fantastic, and it's not the usual genre that I gush and love. Like, I've read one-shots before, like outside of these 11. They're usually, though, shoujo vibes, they're romance, they're school life, they're fluffy. But this, it is the best one-shot I've ever read. And it is at the end of 4 minutes, and it's by Haruki Hiramatsu. So freaking unique. Now, let me set the scene. It's deemed a horror manga, but I wouldn't call it a horror. It's a supernatural drama action manga, and it follows the Grim Reaper. And he has a task every day to unalive someone, and this task usually takes a couple of seconds, but the maximum time it can take is 4 minutes. But if someone can fend off the Grim Reaper and escape his actions beyond 4 minutes, then he has to give up and try again another day. And that leads us to Anita. She is a lonely assassin, and one day the Grim Reaper knocks at her door and comes for her, but she avoids him for 4 minutes. And it follows these two. The Grim Reaper's quest to find her and finish the job, and then about Anita escaping and fending off the Grim Reaper. Oh my goodness. I can't get enough of this one shot. This is weirdly wonderful, insanely unique. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I left the manga, like, again, it's another bittersweet moment, and the relationship between these two, the banter, the chase, the cat and mouse vibes, whilst also getting to know Anita, this assassin, and the art style of some of the gore, because I mean, she's an assassin, people. We do see some dark scenes. Maybe that's why it's deemed a horror. And I guess we are talking about death. I mean, it's the Grim Reaper. But one thing I loved about this is how actually sweet the Grim Reaper is. In his spare time, he likes to find and like play with little stray dogs. He has that fluffy side, and we also see a lot of Anita's rough edges, how serious she is, but then we get to see her little sweet side as well. Just read it. If you do anything today, it's read this one shot. I can't get over it. I'm actually shocked this is not more highly rated online. It only got an 8.69. 10 out of 10 for me. 10 out of 10. So that is all of the 11 one-shots I've read this week. If you've read any of these, do you agree with my opinions? And do you agree with my ranking? If you have any one-shot manga recommendations, like it's the best of the best, it's insane, comment below and I'm gonna read them, and I will let you know how it compares to my top 3, because these 3 for me are unshakable. They were top tier, but I'm on the hunt. I'm on the hunt to find the best of the best. Now I'm gonna leave you guys here. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye guys.